Hi, welcome to the Interaxis YouTube channel, interaxis.io. We're going to start going a little bit different direction with some of our videos now. We're going to talk about a little more traditional finance sometimes. We found that this is a real area of need. There are a lot of people that don't understand traditional finance, and we feel like we can really help out. We're going to start that today with talking about what a financial advisor can do for you. Now, a lot of what we talk about is kind of based in the US, Canada, that kind of area that we know a lot about, but we do know a lot of advisors in countries like England and Australia and in Europe and such, and we know that financial advisors can play a huge positive or a huge negative impact in your financial world and your financial well-being. And we want to talk about what the role is of those financial advisors. In order to do that, of course, with a lot of these videos, we have to take a step back and say, what was the role of financial advisors in the past to get us to where we are right now? And in the past, financial advisors were what you would call stockbrokers, right? That's kind of how they started out, is they were stockbrokers, and they would try to find clients, and the whole point of the stockbroker was to do research and find stocks, find equities, and research and tell you about them and get you to buy them, because we didn't have time or access to that level of research to find out about these companies that we could put our money into. So the stockbroker was very important. The stockbroker also had the licenses to be able to actually buy and sell the stocks and to help us with the custody, with holding of those assets for us. Right, so that was the stockbroker, and the stockbroker got paid a commission based on how much stock I bought. The stockbroker got somewhat of a commission for selling me the stock. So they were a little bit incented that way. But some of the incentive was also to really help us out, because if my stockbroker is finding me good stocks that hopefully go up in value or pay me good dividends, then I'm going to stay with that broker and probably recommend my friends, hence the referral, right? And from there, stockbrokers went in different directions. There was like the insurance advisor or insurance salesperson that was selling things like life insurance, disability insurance, annuities, insurance type products. There was eventually more of the investment manager, right? There was less of a stockbroker, more like helping you get into mutual funds when mutual funds became available, because there were people who were really good at picking stocks, but not that good at actually getting clients. So they would pick stocks and do really well at it, and they would start mutual funds. And then it was up to the investment advisor, the financial advisor, to go find clients and try to get them to buy, instead of buying individual stocks, say, hey, we have this great mutual fund that you can purchase, and you might have to pay what's called a load, pay up front for the mutual fund. We'll have a whole video talking about how funds work, but pay up front for the mutual fund, or you pay some sort of spread, or you pay at the end, or you pay an ongoing fee for that mutual fund, right? So you had stockbrokers, you have insurance people, you have insurance salespeople, you have investment managers, investment advisors. All that kind of got thrown together. Financial advisors, registered investment advisors, which are companies, RIAs. You have IARs, which are investment advisor representatives. Then you have designations, right? CFA is a chartered financial analyst. This is someone who generally is really good at understanding how different types of bonds, equities, different types of investments work, and understands how to maybe put them together, how they might create income or growth or what have you. You can put them together in funds. You have the certified financial planner. This is someone who gets certified to actually help you plan your personal finance, which is a little bit more of what I'll talk about. I am actually a certified financial planner. So I've gone through, in addition to getting my securities license, have extra courses to be a certified financial planner, meaning I can charge a fee to actually give you a financial plan, talk to you about what your goals are, and kind of set us down that path. And these come with different, continuing education requirements and such. So now that we've moved on with different types of technology, the access to information is so much more that it's not very often that we have stockbrokers, people calling us saying, hey, I have this, hot stock you should buy. It's more of, hey, I'm an investment advisor, I'm a financial advisor, come with my firm, and you pay like a 1% fee or less than that, something like that, and we will manage your money. So where are financial advisors now? Kind of what do they charge for, and what are they charged with? And most importantly, where do I see them going? Where do we at InterAccess see financial advisors going? Financial advisors really are extremely important in your financial life, and their role should be to help you organize and make your financial life better. Make it accessible, make it easy for you, make you hit your goals. And part of what we see with that is financial advisors should be helping you with things like your behaviors. What are your behaviors? Behaviors, there's a term called behavioral finance. It talks about how people buy and sell different investments, how people use their money, how people look at their expenses, how people look at their income and everything. So what a financial advisor should be able to do is help you with some of your behaviors. What are your behaviors? Your behaviors are identifying things like how much you save. You can save for retirement, you can save for college, you can save for a home, a car, etc. Financial advisor probably needs to help you with how much you spend. Okay, if you make a certain amount of money, and you should be able to live your life on that, and for some reason you can't, if you're having trouble paying your bills or you're in way too much debt, then a financial advisor can help you and look at your spending and say, hey, there are some areas where you're spending too much money, or we need to look into some of your spending habits because they don't match with your income and with the goals in your life. So a financial advisor can also help you with your behaviors in attacking your goals. So what are your financial goals? Okay, you might in your head think, well, my financial goals are I want to earn a certain rate of return, and a financial advisor might go, okay, but what does that rate of return give you? What is your end goal? Is your end goal to retire at age 60 or 65 or 70? Is your end goal to own a home or own a bigger home or own a vacation home? Is your goal to pay for all your kids to college, to have a certain car, to take certain vacations every year? What are your goals? How does money affect you? And this is a big one. Your financial advisor should be helping you answer these questions like, what does money mean to you? How important is it to you? There's probably some sort of backstory. It might be like, hey, when I was growing up, we didn't have any money, so now that I have it, I really want to spend it. Or now that I have it, I want to save all of my money. And that's where you get into some sort of issues sometimes with couples, right? Married couples, because one might be the saver and one might be the spender, and they're going to, you know, there's a lot of headbutting going on in terms of what they do with their money. The financial advisor at that point gets to be kind of a therapist, right? A financial therapist helping clients, helping couples deal with what the ramifications are of spending too much or even of saving too much. Behaviors are things like talking about debt. How do you use debt? Debt like a mortgage, which might not be such bad debt. Debt like a car loan, because you probably need a car to get around, or debt like credit card debt, which might be bad debt because you're paying a really high interest rate and it doesn't really get you anything for that high interest rate. So a financial advisor is going to help you with all these parts of your finances. And part of what they're going to do is not only look at your investments, right? Because that's a big part of what we've come to know financial advisors to do. We, at some point in the relatively recent history, financial advisors were somewhat measured by what kind of return they could get you. And they would promise a certain, 8%, 9%, 10% return. I beat the market by 3% every single year, and my fee is only 1%, and therefore, you need to come work with me. But what's lost in that is, at what cost am I getting that return? What is my risk, right? So part of the behaviors that financial advisors are going to help you understand is the risk you're taking. The risk is, okay, what will happen to me? What will happen to me financially if my investments go south? What will happen to me financially if I need to put a new air conditioner in my home? Or if my car breaks down and I need cash? They'll talk to you about things like liquidity and how important that is. Okay, because when you need to be somewhat liquid, when you need some cash on hand all the time because you never know what emergencies can come up, well, usually when you have liquidity, you don't get a real high rate of return. So if you look at at a financial advisor that's really helping you, there's going to be some of your money that you're not making much return on, and they're going to tell you, look, you're not going to make anything on this. But if either the market goes down, you're not going to lose it, and also if you really need it, it's available. Because in the absence of having liquidity, you have to go into debt. Right? If I need to put a new $5,000 air conditioner in my home and I don't have $5,000, I'm going to probably put that on a credit card. And on a credit card, that might be 20% interest. Right? So in addition to $5,000, I'm paying an extra $1,000 a year to the credit card company to carry that. Right? Where if I just had that sitting in cash, I could have just paid it, or I could have put it on my credit card, got my airline miles, right, and then paid off the credit card, and I'm good. These are the kind of things that a financial advisor should be helping you with. In addition, they're going to help you with things like your allocation. And that doesn't always mean allocation in terms of stocks and bonds or different funds, but it's allocation in terms of you take your income, right? So you have a particular income, family income every year, and how does that get allocated? Right, and some of that allocation is going to go to savings, right? And some of that savings is going to be retirement, and some of it is going to be college, and some of it is just going to be cash, a savings account, right? So we're going to look at how we allocate the income to that, how we allocate this to expenses. Okay, and expenses can be things like rent or mortgage, right? It can be things like fun. It can be allocating towards, saving things, but like vacations, right? What are the experiences? What do you want with your money? And in the midst of all this, everyone's going to have their own rate of return that they need to get the life that they want. Okay, so when you compare different rates of return, you can compare the rate of return that you might get on your high growth money, your high risk money, something you're saving for retirement that might be 30 or 40 years down the road, right? But that's what you have to compare it to other advisors or other investments that are for that particular purpose, right? Because my overall, the rate of return I might need on all of my investments together might only be 7 or 8% to get to the goals I want, because I'm getting the vacations I want. I'm getting the experiences I want for my family. I know what my expenses are. I'm keeping my expenses to a certain point. And if I go to my financial advisor and I say, hey, I'm thinking of buying a new car, or I'm thinking of getting a new house, or something like that, we're going to talk about, okay, if my expenses go up, what's going to go down? My vacations go down? Do my savings go down? Or do I need to make my income go up? Am I going to have a different, am I going to have some other form of income? Am I going to be making more money? Am I getting a bonus, right? These are the things that a financial advisor can really help you out with. And the great part is, even with the technology that gives us things like robo-advisors and algorithmic trading and all the things that we can do where we can put money into some sort of investment that's managed by computers essentially, and it's completely unemotional, and they can do it, and you might think, gosh, why do I need an advisor? Now you need an advisor even more, because the advisor has to help you figure out how much money goes into that algorithmic trading, how much money goes into that robo-advisor, and how much goes into your expenses and your vacation, your savings, because now that the advisor can kind of offload some of the work onto either other investment managers or robo-advisors, whomever else, now the financial advisor can be even more important to you, because they don't have to worry about that rate of return. What the financial advisor can now worry about is dealing with you and your family, what your goals are. So how do you get from where you are right now in your life, right? The financial advisor is going to work with you and say, you are right here in your life, and here's where you need to get to, and I'm going to help you get there. Right? Now, along the way, you're going to be, money's going to be coming in, money's going to be going out. Ideally, we want this savings to continue to go up. The financial advisor is going to help you get that and say, okay, by a certain age, let's figure out where we want to be. But along the way, what do you want your experience to be? What do you want your life to be like? You might say, right in here is where I want to buy a new home. Okay, well, let's make sure we plan for that. in your savings and in your investments, and make sure we plan a rate of return. And as our money grows a little bit in here, we take a little bit off the table. We keep it a little bit safer so that we can afford this home. And we don't look at, gosh, the rest of the market is going crazy. I wish I were participating in that. Because your advisor might go, no, we don't have the risk profile for that. You're not willing to, you can't take that risk. You can't stomach it, or the goals you have, that kind of risk doesn't make sense, right? The financial advisors also should be looking at this and going, what can go wrong in here? What can go wrong is the market can go down, right? You can get sick, you can get hurt, you can die prematurely, you can lose your job. Have we taken all those things into account, and are there ways we can mitigate some of those risks? Because the good financial advisor doesn't just say, we have the best rate of return, they say, we have the best rate of return for you, for your goals and for your life, for your level of income, for your level of expenses, for your level of savings, for your level of risk. That's what the financial advisor is doing. So they're looking at behaviors, they're educating you as far as your options, they are helping you allocate among your options, they're helping you take into account and really understand your risk. They're helping you understand your goals and how much they're going to cost, how you can save for them. And then somewhere in there, there might be the investments. But it's gotten to the point where the investments are something that, to be honest, a lot of robo-advisors can do. There are a lot of very good investment firms that just deal with investments. A good financial advisor, someone who's personal to you, is going to take all these other things into account and really help you with your financial life. And your financial life is really what is important here. It's not the rate of return, it's the rate of return for you. Because everyone's going to have their own rate of return. Everyone's going to have their own expense rate. Everyone is going to have their own interest rate. Everyone's is different. Every family is different. No matter what you say about rules of thumb and everything else, everyone is going to be a little bit different. And the good financial advisor is going to be able to take all this information, assimilate it, maybe run models, but most importantly, sit across the table from you, look in your eyes, and have honest conversations with you and say, what do we really need? What is your rate of return? What is your rate of interest? What is your rate of growth? Everyone's is a little different. The good financial advisor is going to talk about how we change or help your behaviors, addressing your risk to try to get your goals, and along the way I'm going to educate you in terms of how you allocate among different investments. That is the really important part of financial advisors. So as at Interaxis we go down this world of traditional finance, we're going to try to take on some of the education world, some of the education role for some of these advisors, so that maybe they can go look at these videos. We're going to talk about what some of these topics are, things like retirement, risk, alternative investments, 401ks, IRAs, active, passive, index funds, mutual funds, ETFs. We're going to talk about all these topics because we want to explain them to you in a way that now you can have really good conversations with your financial advisor, and you can really address what your behaviors are and your financial life. So we hope you enjoyed this video. We hope you look forward to more decentralized finance and traditional finance videos coming to you from Interaxis. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Find us on our website, interaxis.io, at Interaxis8 on Twitter, the number 8. We look forward to seeing you in more videos.